Hello and welcome to this week's LOLC Securities Weekly Market Roundup. I'm Tharandu Amarasekara.
And I am Megara Vijayamana, and this is the sound of profitability. On last Friday, the broader all-share price index closed up by 0.57% at 12,800, while the more liquid S&P SL20 index closed up by 0.2% at 3,831. The turnover was 2 billion.
The top turnover generators were Royal Ceramic Lanka, which was up at 32.9, and dipped products up at 42.2, while Lanka Milk Foods were up at 33.5. JKH was down at 21.2 and Sampath Bank was up at 89. There was a net foreign inflow of 199 million rupees. The foreign buying interest was seen in CIC Holdings non-voting, Royal Ceramics Lanka, Sampath Bank, Dipped Products, Kalani Valley Plantations and Windforce.
Sri Lanka's cement availability has hit a 32-month high of 419,000 metric tons in August 2024, indicating a steady and strong recovery in the construction sector. In August, domestic production was 328,000 metric tons, up 25.4% from a year earlier, according to central bank data. Local production is the highest since 365,000 metric tons were produced in December 2021. Imports were 91,000 metric tons, down 3.7% as well. Total cement availability was at 419,000 metric tons and was up 17.6% from a year ago.
Sri Lanka's remittances coming from its overseas expatriate workers grew by 13.9% to $587.7 million in October 2024 compared to the same month last year. This was enabled by more expatriates using official banking channels.
The total remittances in the first 10 months of this year also crossed $5.4 billion with 11.7% gain compared to $4.7 billion in the same period in the last year, according to the central bank data. Worker remittances are one of the top foreign exchange revenue earners for the island nation, which is still recovering from an unprecedented economic crisis hit in 2022. The remittances have risen continuously after the central bank gave up a parallel exchange rate regime, which compelled most expatriates to switch to informal undial and hawala money transfer methods.
Multiple agencies and authorities are warning the Sri Lankan public about financial crimes carried out via social media apps, which is on the rise. It is to be noted that the criminals carry out these activities by gaining access to a password, PIN code or an OTP which the user receives first, and they are warned not to forward those to any external parties. There have also been incidents reported of fake websites posing as those of various established banks, government or NGOs, business organizations, etc., fraudulently obtaining money. CERT, the Computer Emergency Readiness Team, recommends adding security measures such as two-factor authentication features to social media apps and verifying the source of the messages. Relevant complaints can be directed towards dir.ccid@police.gov.lk. And here is the corporate highlight of the week.
Jet Holdings PLC, Sri Lanka's leading wood coating and brushes provider, indicated strong resilience in the second quarter and first half of the 2025 financial year. The company reported an increase of profit after tax by 67%, reaching 512 million rupees, despite facing challenges in the Maldives and Bangladesh markets.
Revenue from the group's Sri Lanka operations grew by 8% to 3.287 million rupees during the period. Gross profit margin increased by 2%, reflecting the positive impact of JAT's acrylic binder and alkyd resin manufacturing plants, which have resulted in a significant cost efficiencies. Selling and distribution expenses too declined by 10% as a result of JAT's prudent approach to cost management.
Here is the ESG update of the week.
Not so good news on the climate change front. This year is said to be the hottest year on record and the first to exceed the target set at the 2015 Paris Climate Conference, and the overall temperature is likely to be more than 1.55 degrees Celsius compared to the pre-industrial era, according to the European Union data service. The landmark Paris Agreement called for reducing carbon dioxide emissions in the hope of limiting global warming to 2 degrees Celsius and ideally 1.5 degrees Celsius above temperatures at the outset of the Industrial Revolution. The 2 degrees goal is the upper limit scientists have set to keep climate change from hitting an irreversible tipping point, unleashing catastrophic floods, droughts, and storms. It also comes as Donald Trump's electoral victory empowers him to deliver on campaign pledges to go after climate policies he dubbed as the Green New Scam.
Now it's time for the international highlight.
Different markets are showing varied reactions towards the election win of Donald Trump, but some of the best news may be coming from the crypto sector. Donald Trump's embrace of digital assets and the prospect of a US Congress with pro-crypto lawmakers is contributing towards this boost. On the campaign trail, the president-elect pledged to make the US the crypto capital of the planet. The value of the world's biggest cryptocurrency has now risen by more than 80% this year. Other cryptocurrencies, including Dogecoin, which has been promoted by high-profile Trump supporter Elon Musk, are also making gains. In the run-up to the election, Trump said he would create a strategic Bitcoin stockpile and appoint digital asset-friendly financial regulators, spurring expectations that he would strip back regulations on the crypto industry. And that's it for this week's LOLC Securities Weekly Market Roundup. No matter what investment decision you make it with the right intel. We will see you next week.